Hi everyone, how are y'all doing today? I'm going to do some more Albert Lee, a little surprise live stream. I'm going to talk about 3 Albert Lee double stop licks that I like incorporating into my own playing. The first one is just taking a look at some of minor pentatonics. I covered this a little last night, but I wanted to do a little higher quality video here with some new equipment. So the first lick is harmonizing basically just kind of like a blues lick of playing E, D, C, and then A. And we're just doing in double stops. We're going E and G, D and F sharp, C and E, and then down to A. So just kind of messing around with that and then picking up with some single notes after it is something that he would do quite a bit to kind of do a call and response of double stops to single notes. So just different ideas maybe where you're playing. You kind of keep going down that scale, incorporating some of those major ideas along with the minor stuff. That's one from Sweet Little Lisa. You can check out the videos I've done for that where I break down that lick, but it's just kind of taking that and then moving down into the same thing basically, but single notes on the 4th and 5th string. So just kind of working through that, maybe playing some ideas of where you're just doing some repeated licks going between these 2 double stops with our A note here on the 7th fret. You know, it might something like. All of that is in that Albert Lee territory. So try kind of incorporating those 3 double stops into your playing some. The next ones that I'd like to cover are more in the major vein. So if we're working from this A double stop here, we're going to connect it chromatically downward. So we're going to come down E and C sharp, chromatic, D and B, A, which is that C sharp on top. Just it's kind of like a standard ending or something. So what I would do with that is kind of lead into it with your G and A notes. So he would do this kind of thing quite a bit. He would go where you're just playing G, A, moving down to this chromatics, E, F sharp, A, with that double stop there. So just kind of working and just adding in when you can some other double stops and just mess around with the rhythm of it. And these things are kind of bite-sized ideas that can be expanded on in so many different ways. I might. those kind of ideas, right? And then when you combine it with the minor, it sounds really cool. You just can come right back up and go. Right? Maybe another one. So that's all on that second and third string. Now, a side note, whenever you're playing at faster tempos, what I would recommend you do is take your pick and then you want to alternate it with these two fingers here. So a lot of the times when I'm doing these double stops, I'm really just grabbing them with my middle and ring finger. But when you have something fast like this where you want to go or back down, sometimes you're probably going to end up doing the double stop with the fingers and then picking that next note. So slowly, if you can see here, right? And then together, pick, together, down. So just that's a good practice too if you're trying to get into the hybrid thing. All right, so that's another idea. And then the last one I'll share here is kind of the same idea, but now across two strings with a string in the middle here. We're just taking up the double stops that we talked about in our last lesson. And we're just playing A and C sharp, B and D, chromatic, and then C sharp and E. So kind of just grabbing these more aggressively, right? Rather than doing kind of the alternate picking from the last lesson. So this kind of thing. Especially with that chromatic approach. It's a classic blues turnaround. But whenever you attack it like that, it gets that chicken picking sound. Okay, so that you then mix in with those double stops we were just talking about. And you have all of these just different variations to move through, okay? So one little kind of thing that he'll do on this is he'll play C sharp, and F sharp, and then hammer on to the G, like a flat 7 thing. And then into that double stop. So it might go like... right into it. That's a great lick. I probably use it too much, where you go... All right, so I'm going to play around just with that backing track that I was doing for a few more times through and try types of double stop patterns into the playing a little more. Thanks. See you guys soon.